This is Anambra State. The igbodefence news crew drives through Ogbaru, one of the 21 local government areas in Anambra State, to gain first-hand experience of what has happened. Anambra State, one of the states hit hard by the devastating flood, lost properties worth billions of naira. In some parts of the state, like Ogbaru, people cohabit with deadly animals displaced or trapped by the flood. As the water levels begin to go down, Igbodefence News surveys the extent of the damage caused by the flood in those areas. The villages that make up Ogbaru include Akiliogidi, Atani, Akiliozizo, Amiyi, Mpoto, Obeagwe, Ohita, Odepe, Ogbakuba, Ochuche Umuodo, Osomala, Ogwaniocha, Umunnankwo, Umuzo, Okpoko, and Ogwipere. Igbodefence News crew visited Atani, Odepe, and Ohita. The flood that ravaged parts of Nigeria in 2012 is way less distressing when compared to the tragic flood experience of 2022. The area shares borders with the river Niger, such that the river bank cuts through most of the communities. From the 2014 national census, the Ogbaru local government area of Anambra State has a population of about 278,680 people. It was recorded that the population of the local government area of that year grew more than the previous headcount in 2006 that had the population sitting at 221,879. The population growth ratio between 2006 and 2014 was 3.2%. This was put out by the National Population Commission. About 68% of the buildings in Ogbaru local government area have the foundation depth of 300 millimeters or less. Likewise, more than 74% of the buildings have ground floor level height of 300 millimeters or less. Also, igbodefence News found out that about 56% of the buildings had the mark showing how high the flood level was, which was ranging between 300 to 600 millimeters. Also, about 28% of the buildings had the mark showing the flood's height at 600 millimeters. However, igbodefence News found out that the flood level increased by more than 1 meter during the flooding. The flood obviously covered the floor level, getting into people's houses and leaving most of the fittings and fabrics damaged. The flood data in Anambra State indicates that the intensity of the flooding in these areas is the same with other areas, but the extent of the destruction in terms of infrastructural, agricultural, and socio-cultural activities differs. This situation has caused widespread devastation and loss of properties worth billions of naira. The Labour Party presidential candidate Mr. Peter Obi had raised an alarm over the disaster, pleading with the federal government of Nigeria to assist the affected state. Meanwhile, there are other neighboring villages which cannot be accessed as at the time of this report. Many villages are far away on the land surface. Everything was virtually covered by the flood. Foodstuff, crops, and other valuable things have been taken away by this dangerous flood disaster. Igbodefence News also covered the report that about 75% of the people in Ogbaru local government area of Anambra State are farmers, and up till now, they are still suffering. Some of them are into occasional fishing to make a living. Also, some of the villagers find it difficult to eat, according to what we found. The current state of the Nigerian economy has also affected the citizens. The current foreign exchange rate seems unstable. This has affected the citizens, especially the people in the flooded areas. Sadly, many lives were lost in Obakuba. More than 112 people, including children, have been lost so far in this region. And overloaded boats carrying 89 people on board capsized. Over 23 people drowned on the 17th of October 2022. The flood around this popular naval base has practically suspended almost all activities here in this region. Due to security reasons, we were asked to stop covering the area. Now, let's drive down to the other side of Atani. On this toll, we saw some buildings and churches that were covered by the flood. In the area, we discovered that the flood takes its lead back to the other side of the road. We also saw some persons cleaning a big Catholic church after it had been flooded. One could clearly see some snakes swimming freely. Let's meet with one of our correspondents on ground.
We were here right here in the village of Atani. We are trying to cover up the communities that are being affected by the drought and flood, rather. We see some people going to their various homes through the locally made canoes to tell you the kind of devastation that the flood caused in this community. People are just returning back to their homes. Even at this point, you can see people swimming in the flood. It was worse than this. We are just coming here when the flood is even going down.
Children have converted the front side of this Catholic church to a playground, regardless of how risky it might be to play there. A member of the Catholic Church spoke with us.
My name is Innocent Iro. I am from Imo State, and I work with the Cathedral Church of Atani. It is one of the leaders of the cathedral, a bishop, that gave us Emmanuel Castle. That is where we worship for now. These are some of the destruction caused by the flood, even inside the church.
Bishop Ama. Ihe akwa ma fence ọkwachara ma ndị nke akwa ebe a na so ma ebe like the front of this place there also.
We contacted one of the heads of this region on phone, who told us that they need help and support from the federal government. People are really suffering here, he added. A woman from the Pentecostal church told the federal government of Nigeria to come to their rescue.
My name is Justina Ezebilim.
Grace of God Mission, Atani.
Here is Grace of God Mission, Atani. We no longer worship here. If you look around, you will see the effects of the flood all over. We only worship once on the major road before the flood became enormous. All the places of worship were closed in Ogbaru because of the flood. Some lives were lost. Here is the boundary between Ohita and Atani.
These house owners gave out their uncompleted two-story buildings to those that were affected by the flood. We witnessed two of those houses. No playground for children. This is Urban Nursery and Primary School. This is Basilica Catholic Church, Atani. This is Ogbaru Local Government Area Secretariat. The staff had this to say to Igbo Defense News.
My name is Onyedikachi. We are here in Atani, Ogbaru Local Government Area. Here is the headquarters. We are asking the Anambra State government to come to our aid. The effect of the flood is so devastating. From Ogbaru down to Atani and other neighboring villages are so much affected by the flood. It got to the point that the youth of these communities are fixing some of the roads to ensure people can pass by and it can also be motorable. Things have spoiled beyond repair. The people are hungry. The governor, Soludo, came to see us, but he was unable to access all the communities because the flood was so high at that time. Some of those you are seeing here are those that came to seek refuge. There was a boat mishap involving over 50 people, but only 18 were saved. The others were gone. Some people also died in some of the communities, and their corpses have not been recovered.
So I need the government to
The government at any of the level should please come to our rescue.
This is Atani Police Station. This is the Magistrate Court. This is the Navy base in Ogbaru. Ogbaru, Atani, Odebe, Ohita, and Ayamelum are all heavily affected by this 2022 flooding in Anambra State. Ayamelum local government area of Anambra State has abandoned the community due to the flood's havoc. Igbo Defense News could not investigate further in those areas due to the high risk level. The October 17, 2022 flood disaster in Anambra and some other states in Nigeria is no doubt one too many. The Anambra State Governor, Chukwuma Soludo, had said that 1/3 of the state has been submerged by the flood, and also seeking more support from the federal government to assist the affected areas. In Nigeria, Anambra State is among the states in the country affected mostly by the flood. This is Igbo Defense News. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel for more verified reports from Igbo land. Thank you for watching.